guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a wear test on the Purlisse, is that how you say it? Purlisse Perfect Glow BB Cream. It's the SPF 31, so it's an oil-free, moisturizing, natural-looking coverage, matte meets glowy finish. So I'm really excited because I do like kind of glowy finishes, and I do like matte foundations, but I do prefer a little bit more of a dewy one, so I'm hoping that the glowy finish will help me like it a little bit more. So it says it's for all skin types and it's suitable even for sensitive skin. So this says it's a multitasking beauty balm that is a foundation, antioxidant, moisturizer, and an SPF 30 in one. Featuring our exclusive Asian herb extract complex, goji and hawthorn berry brightens skin while jasmine improves skin texture and retains moisture to create a gorgeous and glowing complexion. So the benefits are improved skin complexion, softens and evens your skin tone, hydrates the skin, helps reduce fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots, dullness, and other signs of aging, and prevents UVA and UVB damage. So I've never used anything from this brand before, and I got this in my Boxycharm box that you guys will have already seen. So this was in the June Boxy Luxe box. So I'm really excited to try it out. So I did actually get a color that I'm hoping is going to match me. They sent me the color Light. I'm not going to do anything to my skin prior to using this foundation. I'm just going to go ahead and apply the foundation. I'm not going to use a primer or anything. I just want to see how this foundation wears just on its own. So I usually do a primer. I use the No Problem Prime Essence. So I use this primer and I usually put it everywhere just because I just like to use it, but I don't really notice that big of a difference when I use primers versus when I don't use primers. So I'm really curious to see if there's going to be a difference at all with this product with no primer, just because I don't really know if primers actually work for me or not. I haven't really found one that I'm actually really in love with. All of the primers that I've gotten have been from Boxycharm, so we shall see. But this is what the CC BB cream, whatever it is, this is a BB cream. This is what it looks like. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be a really good color match, and we shall see. But they sent me the color Light, and when I did a swatch on my hand earlier, it looked like it was going to be my color. So I'm hoping. So this is a BB cream. So BB creams usually tend to be about medium, like light to medium coverage. They're usually pretty sheer, which is what I usually go for. I don't really go for a full coverage look just because I have such dry skin and fine lines that it tends to just like crease and look really bad on me. So I usually go for a little bit more of a moisturizing foundation. The foundation that I've been using lately is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. So I'm already familiar with tinted moisturizers, CC creams, BB creams, all of those, and I strongly prefer them. So far it's going on pretty nicely. The color is pretty good so far. I'm hoping it's not going to oxidize and go like orange on me because that would really suck. But so far it's a really nice color. It's covering fairly okay. I would say it's about light coverage, light to medium coverage. You will probably have to build this up if you are wanting a little bit more of a fuller coverage. But so far I'm liking it. I don't really, like I said, go for full coverage. So far I'm liking it. So that is the first coverage. I really didn't use too much of the product. I just poured a little bit on my hand like you guys saw, and it actually covered most of my my face just perfectly fine. It looks really nice. It is a matte finish and it does have that glowy finish to it as well. So I'm really liking it actually. I think this is a really pretty coverage. So far the finish looks really nice and I'm liking it. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more just on my spots that didn't fully get covered. So here I will go over these spots with some concealer, but I'm just gonna try to build up this coverage a little bit more just to see. I'm really curious to see how this foundation is going to work in the areas that I have problems. So like underneath my under eyes, under my fine lines, my forehead. I have fine lines in all of those areas, as I am 26 years old, and I'm really curious to see if it's going to get really creasy, if it's going to settle into all of those lines really quickly, or if it's just going to be fine. So I'm hoping that it doesn't. Because I really like CC creams and BB creams and tinted moisturizers. I strongly prefer them over foundations, and they tend to not be as creasy on my skin as like bulk. That was loud. As like my other foundations that I have in my collection that are more like medium to full coverage. But so far this is covering nicely. I do have a sunburn on my nose right there, so I'm just going in with a little bit more of the product right there to see if it's going to cover it. So I would say that this is almost, it kind of almost reminds me of like a dewy finish just because of that glow that it has. The glow is actually really pretty. I'm really liking this. It is sinking into my pores though, because again, I did not use a pore filling primer or anything. I just went in with my skin. So that is what the foundation looks like, just with the coverage on. It looks pretty nicely. I will turn my lights down a little bit and zoom you guys in just so you guys can see the finish of the foundation before I go in with my concealer and like my bronzer and stuff, but I think it looks really nice. So this is what my foundation looks like up close. So still with the lights turned up, this is what it looks like. I think it looks really pretty. It looks pretty natural actually. It doesn't look that bad at all. It's definitely not cakey. It is settling into my pores a little bit right here, but I have really large pores, so that's just what it is. It is settling into my under eyes a little bit, but again, those are there all the time, so that's not really the foundation's fault. That's just my skin. So now if I turn down the lights, you guys can see what it looks like a little bit more in like normal lighting, I guess. So it is covering really nicely. I do think it looks really pretty. It does look really natural. I think it looks really pretty. I'm actually very impressed with it so far. I'm curious to see how this is going to wear, but we will only be able to tell in the wear test. I'm gonna zoom you guys back out. See, look, I look so much better now. So this is what the foundation looks like just with me applying it with no other products. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my, where is it? I'm gonna go in with my Pretty Fresh hyaluronic acid and just cover up some of the areas that need a little bit extra help. And obviously I won't be able to fully tell you guys in this, like this spot right here, exactly how the foundation is going to work because I do have another product on there, but I do want to cover up some of my spots. So I'm basically just doing a spot treatment. I'm not going to be putting the concealer all over basically to highlight like I usually do. But I am just going to do that and cover it up a little bit. So like I said, it is a light coverage, light to medium. I would say it's light to medium. I would say that it's actually not a bad coverage at all. I think it looks really nice. I think it covered really nicely. As you guys saw, I literally needed just the smallest amount of concealer just to cover up some of my acne, but other than that, it looks really good. So I'm gonna quickly go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. So I'm gonna do my foundation, my bronzer, my blush, all of that off camera, and then I will come back to start the wear test. So it is 2:15 right now, so I will come back once my rest of my makeup is on, and then we can start. All right, so I am back with my full face of makeup on. So it is 2:20 right now, right on the dot. So it only took me 4 minutes to do the rest of my makeup, so that's pretty good. So I have my full face of makeup on. So I used my NYX Contour and Sculpting palette. I used my blush Note in the color Desert Rose. I used Iconic London, just my lip gloss that I have on my lips. It's a plumping lip gloss, and it's kind of tingly right now. And I used my Jeffree Star highlighting palette. I used the color, I believe it was Glacier and Ice Cold. So that is what I have on my face right now, besides the stuff that I did off camera before I did this video, which is just my ColourPop liner in this shade. I don't believe they have these ones anymore. This was the shade, it doesn't even say anymore. It's just rubbed off completely. So it was this, oh no, it does. I used the color Zulu, which is this really pretty seafoam green color. And I used the Big Ego by Tarte, which is my mascara. And I used the Urban Pop lashes in the Lashes L'Amour. And if you guys are interested in trying out Urban Pop's lashes, I do have a discount code in my description box down below with all of my other codes. Urban Pop lashes are the lashes that I mostly use in all of my videos. So if you guys are interested, the lashes code will be in the description. So that's everything that I have on my face right now. Basically, my skin looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. At the moment, I'm really impressed with this BB cream. I think it looks really great. I do believe that this retails for $35. That's what it said on the Boxycharm card. So 35 Canadian is probably about $50. So it is a very expensive foundation in my opinion, or BB cream foundation, whatever. It is a very expensive base product. So that's just my personal opinion. I'm used to paying the like $10 or $15 for the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Concealer. and foundation. So this tinted moisturizer is my absolute favorite. It's my go-to, and this is the one that I've been using for the last couple of months now. And honestly, I'm really interested to see if I'm going to like this one as much as this one, just because this is my holy grail at the moment. And I think that so far the finish looks really good. So I do want to set my foundation just because I want to give it a chance. Now, I usually set my foundation with the Iconic London setting spray, and this is the Prep Set and Glow. But as you guys can see, this already has a shimmer in it, as you can see in the product. And I want to see how the foundation wears just on its own, just with the already natural glow that's in the foundation, that I don't want to mess it up by using a glowy finishing setting spray. So I'm gonna go in with the Morphe setting spray. So this is the Continuous Mist setting spray. And I'm just going to set my foundation and lock it all in. This setting spray is absolutely amazing. I love the scent of it, and I love the feel that it gives once you use it. It's really great. It's very inexpensive too. So now that my foundation is on and everything is ready to go for this wear test, we can start it. So it is 2:25 right now, or 2:24. So we'll say 2:30 is when we're starting this wear test, and I will come back in a couple of hours just to give you guys an update on how I'm feeling, how it's looking. I'll show you guys up close what everything is looking like. But so far everything looks really great. I'm loving it. I think this foundation, BB cream, tinted moisturizer, whatever, I think it all looks absolutely amazing, and so far I'm really, really impressed. It's not settling into any of my lines as poorly as any of the other ones that I use, so I think it looks really good. So I will come back around 4:30 and give you guys a 2-hour update just to let you guys know what my skin is looking like, and yeah, I'm excited. So stay tuned for the next update. Okay, so I am back. It has officially been 2 hours. It is 4:36 right now. So just giving you guys an update on what the foundation has looked like, and I was working, so I was sitting at my desk like this because that's just what I do when I work. And it actually hasn't rubbed off at all. Even my brows are still there, so that's really good. But I did realize that I was sitting like this, and I was like, I'm not gonna stop. So it does look really nice. The finish is still really good. It has settled into my forehead lines a little bit. If I turn down the lighting, you guys can see it a little bit more. So my under eyes, it has settled into those, but that was the exact same that it settled into when I first applied the foundation. It has settled into my forehead lines a little bit, and it has settled into like my fine lines, my smile lines, my under eye lines. But that's basically what all foundations and CC creams and BB creams do. And honestly, it's not settling in to my skin as badly as it does with other products. So it's only been 2 hours, so I'm gonna continue this wear test, obviously, but I still think it looks really nice. It still looks like a really natural finish. I was showing some of my friends just some photos of the makeup just like taken on my phone, and they all said that it looked really natural and it looked really nice. So I'm really impressed with it so far. So I'm going to do a little bit longer of a test for the rest of the video. So I'll come back probably around 7 or 8 o'clock, and then we can talk about how I'm feeling and what the finished foundation looks like after it's been a couple hours, because it's only been 2 hours. So if I come back probably in another 4 hours, that's a 6-hour test, and that's basically what people would go to work. They would go to work for about 8 hours and they'd come home. So maybe I'll go till about 6 or 7 hours today just for this test, because I'm probably gonna go to the gym later, and I don't go to the gym with makeup on. But I'll come back later on and talk to you guys about what I'm feeling, and we can go from there. So I'll see you guys in a few hours. Need to finish filming so I can go to the gym. Oh, yeah. All right, we are back. It is, I have a watch. So it is 8:58 right now. So it has been on for a significant period of time. So I think I started this wear test at 2:30. So that is a good enough time for me to give you guys my feelings and opinions on this foundation. So as you guys can see on my nose, it has worn off. I do have a sunburn there. So my sunburn is peeking through. I do touch my face. So there is that. So if you tend to sit at your desk like this, or if you rub your nose, or if you're just a face toucher in general, even though you're not supposed to be touching your face right now because of COVID, this foundation probably will wear off after a couple of hours. But that being said, it has been on for a significant period of time. It's been on for about 7 hours, 7.5 hours. So I would say that this foundation is pretty great, especially if you are just wanting a BB cream for work. So like if you work in an office setting or something where you want to have just light coverage, light to medium coverage, and you want to also have just like a tinted moisturizer on. It's a really good foundation, BB cream. I work in an office setting and I don't really like going in wearing a crap ton of makeup. That's just me personally. So this would be a really good tinted moisturizer for me just to slap on in the morning and then go to work. I'm really liking the fact that there's an SPF in it, and Purlisse is actually cruelty free. So I'm really excited for that. I think this is going to be one of my new favorite foundations and one of the new foundations that I'm going to be wearing pretty frequently. I do still think that the Pretty Fresh foundation, tinted moisturizer, whatever, is really great, but I do like this one as well. Let's see the differences between the two. This one you get, does it tell you? You get 43 milliliters, which is 1.45 fluid ounces, and this one you get 40 milliliters. So you get just 3 milliliters more in this one. This one is significantly cheaper though. The ColourPop foundation is about $15, I would say, and this one is about $35. So the two foundations are pretty different in the price range. This is definitely a more affordable option, and it does work really well and does look really great. So if you are on the market for a cheaper foundation and you can actually really afford to spend 35 USD on a foundation, I would definitely go with the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer. It works very much the same as this. Pretty similar finish, and it looks great, and it lasts a fairly decent amount of time. But if you are on the market for a foundation and you are not worried about spending a little bit more money, this is a really good option, and I'm really excited that we got it in our Boxycharm, that I didn't actually have to pay for it. So that being said, I'm giving this foundation a definitely good review. I think the only problem I had with it is it's rubbing off on my nose, but it's been 7.5 hours. I mean, really, you can see where it's rubbed off, and like you can see my fine lines and my forehead and stuff and my under eyes, but that isn't anything that any of my other foundations don't already do, and you can obviously just go and touch up your foundation. Is there any left on the sponge? No, I'm just wiping it off now. You can definitely go touch it up if you need to in the day. I mean, it's just a tinted moisturizer. My skin doesn't look cakey. It looks really great. Honestly, I'm fine with this foundation for it being 7.5 hours later or 7 hours later. I think it looks great. So I'm definitely giving this a good review. I definitely think this is definitely worth the money if you are willing to spend $35. It's a good foundation. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did like it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below for more content like this, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye!